Hello and welcome again. This is Rooflemonger with another tips and tricks guide for Injustice 2. Today detailing the brand new character Red Hood. Now this is day one, so not all the tips and tricks. We're not going to get too advanced here, and I'm sure there'll be some more greasy, grimy stuff in the future everyone's going to figure out. But for now, let's just go over the basics. So first up, I'd like to mention something some other characters have, and Red Hood can make great use of it. So as you may have noticed, Red Hood has an airborne gunshot move here that hits overhead. So that is a fairly fantastic move. It's always great if you have something like that, especially considering his gun projectiles have no travel time. They basically come out instantly. So to do this trick here for the instant overhead gunshots, you see here I am not that far off the ground when I'm shooting. And how we do that, and first got to make sure, go to your controller presets here and make sure the input shortcuts are on. Some people don't like having them on, but do this trick, it makes it a lot easier. So all you have to do is either up, back, up, forward, up, any kind of jump, and immediately roll your hand, either your thumb if you're using pad or your wrist if you're using an arcade stick, to just the regular fireball motion for down, down, back, back. And just do it on like one clean motion. And there you go. If you're an older player, you might recognize this as a reverse tiger knee motion. And it's quite handy to do, and it's an excellent part of what he can do to keep his offense going. Now, next up, I would like to mention probably his most unique move, which is the landmine. Somewhat similar to Hunter Predator's landmine in MKX, but not fully. You have it, you can throw it here in 4 different distances, so you can just toss it out. You can toss it close. You can toss it far. There we are. Or you can toss it really far. So what we do here, if you are willing to spend bar, it's one of his better launchers, or rather pretty much his only launcher for bar. But one thing you can do here is say your foe is blocking you, right? So, you know, it comes out easy peasy on block. Now during this whole process you can obviously, you know, get hit, but one thing about this is the mine does not go away on hit. So if you just do this on someone's face and you dare them hit you back, say one on one she does down 1-2, she'll get her down 1-2, absolutely, and then the mine's gonna explode in her face and she'll take all the damage. So I don't necessarily recommend doing this to everyone, and there's obviously ways around it here, so let me show you a better example of that. So once again, using Wonder Woman, we're gonna have her set to reversal, the up smash for the shield, and that gets her out of dodge, right? So some people, if they know you're going to do that, then they can get out of it, depending on the character. Now, once again, like I said, it's character specific, and you can usually get away with it the first 2 times, even if they do have a move that can do that. It's all up on the player, so if they let you keep doing it, absolutely abuse this fact, right? But now, say they have the character that can do something like that, and now they are conditioned to expect that landmine and do something about it, right? So you can just as easily, instead of tossing that landmine, go into the counter stance. It's all part of the conditioning. Red Hood can counter mids and highs with this, which is just quarter circle back or down back 1, or you hit down back 1 down, and that little gesture right there means he's countering low attacks. So it's just a fantastic abusal tool where toss out that landmine, and absolutely they could react to it in time, depending on the character and if they don't abuse it. But if they start reacting, and reacting is what you want, it's just another layer of the guessing game, and now you can turn their supposed read on you to your advantage with the counter. Another thing to mention for the mine, since it's very obvious, and you know, it sits there and takes space, it's a very dramatic move, you know, and people are going to react to it. And some characters, like Wonder Woman or others, they don't necessarily have the best zoning tools. So if we're in this position here-ish, instead of trying to zone you out, you know, they might want to just get in. And this is a fantastic tool. Just toss it out and kind of force their brain and say, if you want offense, you have to jump. And luckily for Red Hood, he actually has quite a good down 2 uppercut, which can lead to a full combo. So just an example combo here. So just a quick example, you can probably optimize it more later on. But it's just a great way to say, if you want to rush me down and get on me, well, this part's taken, so the only way past there is to jump, and once they jump, you can just take them out of the friendly skies with that down 2 and work it from there. Now, I would like to go over his trait. So, generally, you hit trait, hits the stance, and you have effectively one long 3-hit chain with multiple enders. So you can end an overhead, a low, a throw, or you can EX it. And of course, real quick, you can just hit 2 on trait for a quick gunshot, which is also a fantastic projectile to supplement his normal Gotham stars. Now, I very much absolutely recommend you hit confirm your combos, but say you don't wanna, for whatever reason, right? You just want to go right into that trait. So one thing about that is the overhead and the low parts of the trait, the 2 finishers rather, there is no gaps in that string at all. So if you choose to on block, go ahead with your assault, they simply have to coin flip that you either went low or overhead. And on top of that is on blocks. I mentioned we had the throw ender. It absolutely comes out on block. So the throw ender can be backdash or jump, just so you know. But if you choose to continue the assault on block, you effectively now put them in a 3-way guessing game between overhead, low, and throw. So once again, I recommend hardly you hit confirm your combos before you go into it, but if you had to go into it regardless, it's actually a fairly decent position to be in, because they basically have a 2 out of 3 chance of guessing wrong. And normally when you're in a risking punishment for a block, you don't usually get good odds like that. So that's a fantastic tool for Red Hood to use. Alright, and the last thing for this video I'd like to go over is simply his best move, which is back 2. I know if you just look at it, don't look like much, right? But the range on this is absolutely absurd, and it is special cancelable, and it's a low. Superman, one of the most lauded moves in the game is 4-2-3 for Superman, and it's lauded so much because of the range and its combo ability, and like, let's hear. We're going to take a small step back. Still hits. Its range is utterly fantastic. And once again, like I said, it's special cancelable, so, and it can kind of use some of the things we were mentioning earlier. So from here, you can just go right into the trait and go right into your attack. And once again, we can use the whole block mix-up stuff we got on trait, since you will not have time to hit confirm 1 hit. Absolutely, you just cannot. But we can use what we learned from that and apply it to this. Now, same deal. You can drop that mine right off it. So that part you can hit confirm. In that, you can see if you hit, and then EX it and go right for your bread and butter combo. Or you can just let it rock and go from there. So it's just an utterly fantastic tool. People, any character, once they're in this roughly this range right here, they absolutely have to respect the fact that he has this very quick advancing low that will deal quite a bit of damage to them if they get hit, even meterless. His meterless damage is fairly fair. That's nothing to sneeze at for a meterless off a very far-reaching normal. So once again, make this the biggest part of your arsenal because you will need it. Once you start dominating that, neutral people are going to want to start jumping, and once again, going over what we went over before, that's when you start busting out your fantastic D2 and knocking them out of the air. Because people will be frustrated once they keep losing a neutral to stuff like this. Anyways, that's everything we have for Red Hood today. That, obviously, once again, this is day 1 of Red Hood. So we have a lot more gimmicks, a lot more greasy stuff, a lot more of everything to figure out in time, absolutely. But these are the stuff these are basically your essentials you need to know for him right now. And I hope this video found you well, so thank you very much for watching, and go out and play some Injustice.